Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer and honestly, absolutely dismantle everything you thought you knew about profitable trading. If you've ever sat there feeling like the market is just specifically hunting your stop losses, or if you're totally exhausted by lagging indicators that keep you one step behind the real move, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're unpacking candle range theory. We're going to strip away all that chart noise and look at how institutional money actually moves the market, and more importantly, how you can finally align yourself with it.
Real quick, before we get to the actual execution tactics, here's our roadmap for today. We're covering 1. The great profitability lie. 2. How markets are engineered. 3. The 3-candle CRT model. 4. Catching the expansion candle. And finally, 5. The art of pyramiding. Let's get right into it.
So, part 1, the great profitability lie. We're kicking things off by completely shattering a universally held misconception about what it actually takes to be a successful trader.
Now, it sounds super counterintuitive, right? I mean, social media and movies make it look like successful traders are winning what, 90% of the time? But I really want you to honestly ask yourself, what if you could lose 60% of your trades and still get rich? Because seriously, the math behind that question changes absolutely everything. What if losing isn't actually failing, but just a necessary data point in a winning system? Let's look at the raw math here. Meet trader A. She wins 80% of her trades. Sounds incredible, right? But when she wins, she makes 10 bucks. When she loses, she holds on way too long hoping it turns around, and she loses 50 bucks. Over 10 trades, she makes $80, but loses $100. So she's a net loser despite being quote-unquote right almost all the time. Now look at trader B. He only wins 40% of the time. Think about that. He's literally wrong 6 out of 10 times. But when he loses, he strictly cuts it at $20. Boom, done. When he wins, he lets it run for $100. Over those same 10 trades, he loses $120 but makes $400. Trader B is building a financial fortress while losing most of the time.
So the absolute crucial point here is mastering positive expectancy. This profitability lie tells us that being right is all that matters. It doesn't. What actually matters is making more money when you're right than you lose when you're wrong. You really have to start treating your losses just like regular business expenses. Think of it like a restaurant owner buying ingredients, right? It's just a standard cost of doing business to turn a profit. If you manage your risk and maximize those winning trades, the math absolutely guarantees your success over the long haul.
All right, moving on to part 2, how markets are engineered. Now that we've totally abandoned this need to be perfectly right all the time, let's pull back the curtain on why retail traders are actually losing their shirts.
You know, most beginners just stack their charts with momentum tools like RSI or MACD, completely oblivious to the fact that these tools only show you where the market was, not where the institutional money is flowing right this second. It's literally like trying to drive down the highway by only staring into your rearview mirror. By the time your moving average finally crosses and gives you that buy signal, the smart money, they've already positioned themselves. And guess what? You are providing the exact liquidity they need to exit their trades with a profit.
If you want to survive out here, you have to realize that markets are meticulously engineered by big money. Listen, massive institutions can't just buy everything all at once without skyrocketing the price, right? So they accumulate positions in quiet ranges, they actively hunt for retail stop losses to build up their liquidity, and then they launch the price. The gambler gets super emotional about every single trade, but the casino just trusts the math and aligns its edge with the house. Your job is to stop being the victim providing that liquidity and start trading alongside the casino.
Which brings us to part 3, the 3-candle CRT model. Let's look at how this builds into an actual mechanical strategy to trade alongside those massive institutions.
Now look at how perfectly this visualizes the trap. This is basically the heartbeat of the market. First, over in the green zone, you have accumulation. The market is just resting, prices ranging, kind of just moving sideways. This is the quiet before the storm. Next up, the purple zone, manipulation. This is candle 2. Price falsely breaks out of the range, aggressively sweeping those obvious retail stop losses. I mean, it looks exactly like a breakdown, trapping everyone who decides to short it. And then finally, the red zone, distribution. Price violently reverses in the complete opposite direction of the manipulation. This was the real move the banks intended all along.
To trade this safely, you literally just follow these 3 mechanical steps. It completely removes your emotions. Step 1, you sit on your hands and wait through the small, boring ranges of candle 1. Step 2, you just observe candle 2. You let the market sweep the liquidity and trap the retail traders. Please, whatever you do, do not try to catch the falling knife here. And step 3, you enter on candle 3. You wait for the market to actually reveal its true intent and confirm that reversal.
All right, part 4,
catching the expansion candle. Because hey, understanding the trap is one thing, but now we really need to talk about how to safely board the train during that massive third candle.
Before you even think about risking a single dollar, you need to make sure the market crosses off every single item on this institutional footprint checklist. You need to see that quiet consolidation. You absolutely need to confirm that Candle 2 did in fact sweep liquidity, and as Candle 3 starts, you want to see fair value gaps, or FVGs, forming. If you don't know, FVGs happen when price moves with such incredible institutional pressure that it literally skips price levels. It's the unmistakable footprint of big money just stepping on the gas. And finally, you must confirm valid average true range, or ATR, conditions. That just ensures the market actually has enough volatility to carry your trade to the target.
When that expansion candle, Candle 3, finally hits, you will actually feel the difference in the market's energy. Our sources called this the authority factor. See, Candle 2 feels nervous, it's sharp, it's uncertain, because it's a trap. But Candle 3? Candle 3 has weight. There's no hesitation, just a clean, authoritative explosion of price. Because those stop losses were already completely cleared out in Candle 2, the road is totally clear of snow. Price can just drive freely with minimal wicks and maximum conviction. And that brings us to our final section, Part 5, the art of pyramiding. Let's explore exactly how the professionals take that single authoritative expansion candle and multiply their returns, all without risking their entire account.
So the legendary speculator Jesse Livermore realized pretty early on that going all in on your first entry is just a terrible idea. Instead, you should divide your maximum risk into 4 equal quarters. Think of it like this. If you're willing to risk $20 total on a trade, you divide it into 4 $5 bullets. You never ever risk the whole shebang right up front.
Here's how this actually builds your profitability in real time. Step 1. You start with a tiny probe. Just a $5 tester position to see if your bias is right. If you're wrong, who cares? You lost $5. No big deal. Step 2. You wait. You only add your next position after the market goes into profit. Make the market earn your next investment. Step 3. As the trade proves you right and that expansion continues, you start stacking your subsequent quarters on the minor pullbacks. And step 4. You just ride those massive multiplied gains. You are effectively financing your big bets using the market's own money. It keeps your initial risk incredibly low while scaling up your winners exponentially. It's brilliant.
So we have to wrap up with this thought. It's time to stop trying to predict the market with lagging squiggles on a chart. Understand the math of positive expectancy, look for those manipulation traps, wait for the absolute authority of the expansion candle, and start building your positions like a true professional. The big question is, are you going to keep cutting your winners short, or are you finally ready to let the market earn your money and trade with the casino instead of against it? Think about that before your next session. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.